Hi everyone, welcome back to Sports Kathi, and today we have Rohith, Karan, and Bhanu. Again, we are back discussing about in India-Australia Test Series, and it's been a long break, I know, but we have to discuss about India-Australia Test Series, which last time we won the series in Australia. What about this time? How confident are we? So where are we starting to play? Bhanu, can you just give a brief outline about how the series is going through?
Absolutely, Vaishakh. Thank you once again for having both Karan and me over here. Always pleasure to come talk to both Rohit and you. Finally, getting to see the Indian players in the blue jersey. It was a great limited overs series. I think short 3-3 games. Uh, I'm sure all of us had a very big shocker in the beginning. First two games, back-to-back defeats, and so many questions asked. But for me, what was really heartening was how we bounced back in 3 games. The last ODI to win it and show all the resilience that our players did despite so many changes in the team. Excuse me. And then in the T20s, we were just, bang on when it came down to chasing. I mean, Hardik Pandya really showed why he's one of the world's best T20 batsmen. All questions about his bowling can, for now, be put to bay because he's come back to India. He's not going to be a part of the Test squad. But the batsman in Hardik Pandya definitely spoke. For me, it was very heartening to see India come back with a fight and really give the Aussies a running during the limited overs. But now it's time for real cricket. Can't wait for the Indians to be back in the whites and play the 5-day games. I think for me, what's going to be most exciting is how this test series tests each team's fitness and composition across the 4 games. We'll start off with, of course, the day night at Adelaide, the only test match where we are expecting Virat Kohli to participate in the test series. Uh, should be a cracker of a game, pink ball game. India does not have too much experience with the pink ball. The Adelaide game will be a exciting game for us because that's the only one game where the Aussies will not enjoy true home conditions. Both teams will have some kind of an advantage in the day-night game, given the ball will swing at multiple times throughout the evening, and therefore we can expect a much stronger context at Adelaide if the bowling clicks for both teams. Um, the Melbourne game, the big Boxing Day game, I think all of us are excitingly looking forward to that. It's going to be the headliner. Aussies will definitely come out pumped. This has been a year without a lot of cricket, so the Boxing Test holds a lot more importance with that aspect. I'm just hoping, we go to the Boxing Test either after a win or a draw, and, making sure our team is not feeling low, because the Aussies will definitely ride high. Being the last game of series of the year, they will bring out their best game. One important thing to note here is that the last game of this Test series is in Brisbane, and Australia has not lost a single game in Brisbane. I think we can go back to 30, 35 years. 92 was the last time they had a loss at Brisbane. Uh, so if India has not already won the series or leveled it before going there, I think it's almost game over. It's going to be a very uphill task to draw the series if we are down 2-1 or 1-0 going into the Brisbane game. And which is why Sydney really is the most important game for India. We will enjoy tremendous home crowd support. Indians will come in huge numbers. The pitch is familiar to us. We've played 3 games there now. We understand exactly what the pitch can do during the later stages of the test match, because the second game, the pitch behaved differently and the bowlers had to adapt, the second T20. So for me, the second ODI, I'm sorry. So for me, I think the 4 games, starting with Adelaide, Melbourne, then after that, Sydney and Brisbane, will really let all of us understand what the Indian test composition will look like in the 12 months to come forward. We are testing a lot of new players, and we are going with all our experienced players. Barring Bhuvneshwar and Ishant, I think we have a complete setup going into this test series. So it will be very important for each and every player to grab this opportunity. And let's see, right, what really spans ahead. For me, the India test, the India A tests were a great, eye opener into what our team strengths really are. And I'll let Karan talk about it in the next segment. Some of the players that clicked, some of the players that we can look forward to, and probably some of them who can feature in our starting 11.
Thanks, Manu. So India had the opportunity to play two pre-match or warm-up games before the Test series starts. Both the games were played in Sydney. In the first game, India batted first and declared at a score of about 249, 247 for 9, where Ajinkya Rahane was our top scorer with 117, and Cheteshwar Pujara also scored a battling 54. While Australia came to bat, they scored 306 in their first innings, and they got to a lead of 59 runs. Where Umesh Yadav was our top bowler, where he picked up 3 wickets for 48 runs. While batting the second innings, India again declared at a score of 189, giving Australia a target of 131 on the last session of the last day, where Australia ended with a score of 52 for 1, and the match was a draw. Now, the positives from the first game for India at this point were that Ajinkya Rahane looked in good touch, where he scored a century in the first innings, and Umesh Yadav contained his line and length and did not give away too many runs in the first innings. It was good to see Karthik Tyagi get a few overs as well. Not necessary he might feature in the Test series, but it was good to see him go down and bowl a few overs there. However, Will Pucovski, the Australian opener, he was hit on the helmet by a short ball and was forced to retire third. It was later confirmed that he had experienced mild concussion symptoms and is still pending a concussion clearance to play the Test series. Now, this will be very crucial, keeping Australia's team in mind, because Pucovski is the next big thing in the Test when you talk about the Australian Test side. Now, the second warm-up game was again played in Sydney, but the difference from this one was that it was played with the pink ball, which means it was a day-night test, and both the warm-up games were 3 days. Now, India again batted first in the first inning and were all out for 194. India lost a few wickets cheaply there because they were 102 for 3. Prithvi Shaw gave India a good start, but then the Australian bowlers bounced back, and then India was rattling from 102 for 3. They were all out from 194, where Bumrah was our top scorer and he scored 55 runs. That was also his first class half century ever. That was quite a sight, where he was edging a few and hitting a few fours here and there. While Australia came to bat again in the first innings, they were all out for 108. That was a good thing because Indian bowlers were able to make use of the floodlight conditions and the pink ball as well, where Mohammad Shami and Navdeep Saini, they picked up 3 wickets each, and Bumrah and Siraj picked two and 1 wickets respectively, getting India a lead of about 86 runs. In the second innings, Shubman Gill impressed with the 65 and pretty much cemented his position over Prithvi Shaw as an opener, at least for the first test. And it was very nice to see Hanumant Vihari score 104 of 194 balls. That showed a lot of grit, and pretty much after the Kohli, Pujara, Rahane, he'll be our sixth batsman because he's looked in good form. And Rishabh Pant also scored a counter-attacking 103 runs of 73 balls, which included 6 sixes. That pretty much cemented his position over Wriddhiman Saha, at least for the first test. Those were the few good things for India in that the second warm-up game. Now, when Australia was batting in the fourth innings, chasing a target of 473, they ended the match scoring at 307 for 4 and were successful in drawing the game. Mohammad Shami picked up 2 wickets, and Bihari and Mohammad Siraj took 1 wicket each. And the positives from this game for India was that Gill, Bihari, Pant looked in good form, and it's good to know that these guys they've understood what the pink ball is. Especially Vihari, he gave a very confident interview saying that we know how it is, and even Shubman Gill saying that even if the Australians come up with the chin music, which is the short ball music or the body line which the Australians are known for, India has a counter-attacking answer to it. So it's good to see that our batsmen are in good form, and it's good to see that Bumrah has understood a bit of the pink ball, has some idea about how to hit the ball as well. That's a good thing because Bumrah was economical. So that pretty much sets up our players very well with respect to the fact that they've understood that what the conditions are, how the ball will swing, how difficult it is under floodlights, and they've understood some aspect of it, definitely not the whole thing. And it was good to see that Virat Kohli and the whole team was present in the dressing room and watching how the ball moves and all. So keeping that in mind, I think India is pretty well prepared for the first test, and I'll let Vaishakh take over the next one.
Yeah, good job, Karan and Bhanu. I think that information is important for me, what I'm going to say right now, because I think I'm going through what the predicted lineup should be. And what I predict is that Prithvi Shaw will open with Mayank Agarwal, Pujara, Kohli, Rahane, Vihari, Pant, Ashwin, Yadav, Shami, and Bumrah. And Jadeja is the person who will be missing because of an injury right now, and is not set to be fit. And the main backup is Shubman Gill, who I think might be coming back to the team with Virat Kohli, as Karan said. He has really impressed. And I don't think Prithvi Shaw might be dropped because there is no sign for it. Because again, there are too many openers: Prithvi Shaw, Mayank Agarwal, and KL Rahul. It would not be good enough to keep two openers on the bench and open with someone who is rather planned for the middle order. The backup will be Wriddhiman Saha for Rishabh Pant, and then we have also Kuldeep Yadav as well as with Ravindra Jadeja when he's fit will be coming back for the spin position, and Ravindra Saini will be the backup in the fast bowling options. When you go to Australian team, we have Pucovski, as Karan mentioned, he was injured. David Warner is injured as well. So the lineup should be Harris, Wade, Smith, Labuschagne, Head, Green, Payne, Cummins, Stark, Hazelwood, and Lyon. But at the backup should be Burns, and Pattinson should be the fast bowling backup if Mitchell Stark, who might not be fit. And then also they have Swepson, who's the spinner backup, and Henriques is an all-rounder backup. So this is what I have for the lineup. But the most important thing about this test series is there in the World Championship, and what happens for India if we win or lose this in the totality of the championship, if we qualify for the England the final or not. Let Rohith take over that.
Before I talk about the World Test Series, I just want to mention that from the Australian team, I expect Burns to open the batting, and it will be between Wade and Harris to see who the second opener is, given that Pucovski and Warner are injured. So anyways, coming to the World Test Championship, the relevance of the series on the World Test Championship table is actually very important. And so first, I'll just share you what the table looks like as of today. So as you can see on the screen, this is what the table looks like as of today. So if you're looking at this table, the important column that I want you to focus on is the percentage of points, because due to COVID, certain series couldn't take place. So ICC has decided to they decide the qualification based on the percentage of points achieved for teams rather than the total points, which makes sense because not all teams could play all the matches. So as you can see on the table, Australia and India are currently 1 and 2 in the table as it stands now. Now, from Indian point of view, I'll be talking from Indian point of view. So from Indian point of view, for us to qualify, what we need to do, that's what I'll be explaining here. So our biggest competition is New Zealand. Now, I'm assuming that Australia qualifies because Australia, where they are now, and given the series they're playing at home against India, and they are going to play South Africa, which is the current South African team is not the toughest to play. So I think they will qualify. So I would consider New Zealand as our biggest opposition or biggest competition to qualify. So in this situation, New Zealand, as of today, if they win the remaining 2 matches, that is, they have one more series remaining. They're going to play 2 matches against Pakistan, and the series of New Zealand-Pakistan will be going parallel to the India-Australia, but there's a 2-match series, so it gets over faster. Now, if New Zealand wins both their matches against Pakistan, then they will have a percentage points of 70%. And if they draw one of the matches, it will be 63.3%. Okay. So that is what their points will be, or what their position will be. And I expect them to win both the matches, or at least win one of them and draw the other one. I don't expect them to lose a match. So I expect us to get above 70%. Now, what India needs to do to be above 70%. We have, so to give an understanding, we have 4 tests against Australia now in Australia, and then we go back home and play England at home, another 4 matches. So now, if we are to win, say, the 4 matches at home against England, that means we will get even if we lose all the 4 against Australia, we will still have 66.87%, which is lower than what New Zealand can achieve. New Zealand can achieve 70% maximum. So that means we need to win at least 1 match in Australia. So now what happens if India wins 1 match in Australia? So that is, if India wins all the matches against England 4-0 at home, and if India wins 1 match here, that means if the next 8 matches, India's result is 5-3, 5 wins and 3 losses, then we will have 70.83%, which is slightly higher than whatever the maximum New Zealand can achieve. So that is what India will need to do to qualify. India will need to reach that 70.83. India will need to win 5 out of the next 8 matches. And just to give you things how close it is. Now, I was asked this question and I was talking about this in the pre-show. Vaishakh asked, what if we win 4, draw 2, and lose 2? In that situation, our person will be 69.44%, and that will be slightly lower than what New Zealand can achieve, which is 70%. So that means for India to qualify, India will need to win 5 matches of the next 8. And the other way to do it is win 4, draw 3, and lose 1. I don't expect 3 draws in the next 8 matches. So I really don't see that option coming up. So in simple terms, India needs to win 5, and India needs to win at least 1 match in this series to stand a chance of qualifying going into the England series. So that's in short what the table looks like and what India's chances are. So with that, I am pretty much ending today's podcast. And as usual, to people who are watching the podcast, please like and share the video with your friends and family. And if you haven't subscribed yet, then please do. We are planning to have more regular videos for this upcoming test series because we expect this test series to be extremely entertaining. So we are plans of having maybe if possible a everyday review of how the day went. It really depends on how India performs eventually, because it depends on what that really will set what our moods are for giving the video. So anyways, so if you haven't subscribed, please do click the subscribe button so that you get regular updates on our videos. And and if you have any comments on our squads and what we have predicted here, then please do share those comment on in the comment section. And that's it. That's pretty much from now from us. So until next time, stay safe and goodbye.